Everybody, and welcome to the Wider Wellness Virtual Summit. And boy, are you in for a treat today, because these two guys are ready. They are wound up. So it is Friday, TGIF.
It's Friday?
For most people, not for us.
Thank God it's Friday.
Good
And
morning,
they're singing.
Dr. Tracy and Joe, of
Good
course.
morning.
We got Phil on the board. We got the whole crew here. Super excited. I didn't know what day it was, so thanks for reminding me it's Friday.
I know, I gotta check my phone. I'm
Real
glad Siri is
excited
here for me.
Real excited for a big day today. I had some extra motivation last night. I went to the NPC Masters Bodybuilding Championships.
Oh, did you?
So, yes, took the two daughters down there, had a nice time. We did the NF for Life. We did a little walking, some good laughing, some emotional wellness. Got some motivation from all the competitors. So just want to thank the crew down there for the warm hospitality. And it was a really nice event. And ready to go here today. So we got a big day in stores for everybody. And looking
Now,
at
what
the
is that
lineup
event,
today,
Jamie? What is that event? What's it about?
that is a Masters, teen, collegiate, and bodybuilding, fitness, all the different
wow.
categories. So this is the North American. So you have everybody from North America. You have professionals and amateurs. And it's to celebrate everybody except the open division. So you have 35 and over, you have teenage, and anyone who's a college student. So there's everything from fitness, figure, physique, female bodybuilding. You got the bikini division, Joe's favorite, of course. There's a new division.
I placed in that once.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people were in there, but I'm sure it was somewhere near the bottom.
How many martinis in were you?
That was a fiver, I think, on that one.
But it's great because a lot of people may not realize the bodybuilding and fitness community is based right out of here in Pittsburgh, PA.
I know. I think that's amazing.
Right down the street, actually on the same road that we're on for the Wellness Center. And that was the reason I moved here back in '92, was to be involved in that community. So it's a great group of people. I saw people I've known for 30 plus years. And Gary Udit was, of course, sporting the NF pullover. So he loves that NF gear, and he's just excited to see everybody down there. So,
see, Jamie's royalty in this organization. They grab this kid coming in, they grab him, they walk him down to the front aisle, seats right up front.
That's just because they're keeping an eye on him.
Yes. I got
put him where we can see him.
My kids do get a kick out of that because Boo gives them the badge, and you got to sit in the front, so you walk down. It's nice to have good friends like that, and people I've been around, like I said, I met Gary Udit in 1991, right? So going back a few years, right? And he's always been there to help people out, and he's helped me with my latest goals and everything. So it's a nice crew, and they're down there tonight, and today's the woman. So if you want to see bikini and fitness women, they're at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. tonight right at Sheraton Station Square. Got a great group of people down there, and then they finish up tomorrow. So it's an excellent event. And it's nice because you can go in and check out some athletes, get some motivation, go for a walk. There's some restaurants down there. Actually was looking for your daughter at the Melting Pot. So, it's a nice area to park and just walk around and get some fresh air.
That sounds great. It sounds like something great to do, and it's healthy and gives you motivation. So it's better than hitting a bar and waking up the next day, Joe, and just not feeling like yourself.
There's plenty of bars down there, Tracy. Plenty of bars.
That's what DMG is for, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
So today, though, we have a great lineup of speakers. Let's check it out.
And speaking of DMG, we got the one, the only DMG himself, Dr. Mikey Gallagher, talking about. Now, he's not a doctor, but, that's just his nickname. DMG, Mike Gallagher, asking, is this the miracle pill? And I can't wait to hear his answer, Joe.
Oh, don't worry.
I can't wait either,
give it to you.
He's been pretty silent all week, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what he prepared. So, Mike, we're intrigued.
He's been down on the floor all week, and he's been down helping everybody. People come in looking for him. Yeah, I need to talk to Dr. Mike. So he eats it up. But if there's anybody that knows more about DMG than we do, it's Mikey G, and he's going to tell you about it.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a great topic. I saw some text messaging today about DMG going on A lot of people are unaware what DMG is. I just call it darn mighty good, right? It's dimethylglycine, but basically DMG is the catalyst for all the nutrient reactions in the body. So if you have to say there's one nutrient we want to add into anybody's program, it's DMG, and that's why Nutritional Frontiers has added to so many formulations.
Yes.
And in addition, has it as a standalone product.
Right. It's really Nutritional Frontiers has really pioneered this ingredient, this nutrient over the last 13 years from day one. Right. And nobody else has, and they're all missing the boat. And that's sorry. Sayonara. See you later. Get the lifeboat. We're here, and we're gonna make sure everybody knows about DMG.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even realize how much.
What did you give him this morning?
I don't know where that came from.
What did he take? Did you have too much DMG?
Not yet.
Sayonara. Well, now let's just see who's up next.
Get the lifeboats. That's what I heard.
Get the lifeboats. So Dr. Cynthia Clark, she's coming on at 10 a.m. to talk to us about some great topics on endurance training. Yet another reason to use DMG, but I'm excited to see what Dr. Cynthia is going to be talking about. And yesterday, actually, we had Dr. Denise Baker on, who they worked together in the same clinic. So that was kind of cool because Dr. Baker is complete Western, well, at least at one time was, and Cynthia was Eastern, and the two came together and they have a great functional medicine practice.
Yeah, that's a great part about those two is that they have all the bases covered, right? So I think that's really the future of medicine is the complementary approach because there is a time and place for everything. I know someone had commented the other day about, it's us versus allopathic. It's really not, right? I think the community needs to come together so that you get the best of both worlds. However, I think that the challenge is that a lot of the allopathic has been overprescribed, as we know.
Overprescribed, yeah, and the people that are spearheading this, come together, is the natural side of the business. We've been inviting them to conferences and educating the allopathic physician for decades. So and that's true in integrative health.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Sometimes it goes the other way, right? Because we go.
Yeah, it does.
I had a patient in yesterday, and she's suffering with cancer, and she looks like she's doing pretty well. And she said, her husband kept saying, my oncologist wants to talk to you. I was like, really? First of all, why?
Yeah.
They says, well, the reason is that they were giving the patients iron oxide and they were getting nauseous and constipated. But my wife has been using the Easy Iron and is not constipated or nauseous. And the oncologist is so impressed that he wants to learn more about it.
Good.
Now, I don't know where that will go, but I'm always open for the conversation.
Yeah,
I like the fact that at least they're curious about it, right? And in defense of them, I don't think a lot of them are against nutrition. It's just if their specialty is cancer, they're trying their best to get someone healthy. These are really challenging conditions they're dealing with. Yeah. And the fact that they're at least open-minded to it, right, is fantastic. So, I think it's time that, everyone's open-minded because you never know when you're in those situations what you need to do to get healthy. And I think some people, they're at wit's end. They're willing to try anything. So
many of the great practitioners that I've known over the years that treat cancer patients started out as straight allopathic physicians, and then bridge the gap. So absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was just going to say to your point, Jamie. I think sometimes when you're with a client, you don't offer to talk to the medical. It's almost like there was like this massive separation. And you said from both sides. The first time, allopathic didn't want to talk to us. Then we got all hoity-toity and we're like, well, we're not talking to them. We can do it. And, the truth is we can't. The testing and the modalities that we use, sometimes it requires a licensed practitioner to do that, a medical physician. IV therapies, peptides, all of these up and coming science-based modalities require someone with a license. And if we don't start playing together on the same field, we're not going to be able to help anybody. If we let pride and ego get in the way, we're not going to help anybody. So I always say to people that come see me, like, I'm happy to talk to your doctor and let them know why I chose the protocol I did. I always ask about medications. I have a friend who's a pharmacist, not Dr. Len, but actually someone local that I can call and say, hey, here's some medications that this person is on. Can I use this supplement? Will it interfere with anything? And, we have to stay in those relationships. the whole thing is you can't claim to know everything, but you should know somebody who does. And I think if we can bridge that gap, which is what we're trying to do at the Weiner Center, because we do have licensed practitioners in there. We do have people that are just, holistic health professionals that help people. And they work together very well. So.
Yeah, and I think you made a great point in that some practitioners can do certain things, right? Such as adjust medications, right?
Right.
So that's where we got to lean on all the experts out there. And look, just like any other profession, you have your good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So you got to sift through the people out there and find out who the best are. And that's what we're trying to do at Nutritional Frontiers, the Weiner Wellness Center. And that's why you've done an incredible job bringing all these incredible practitioners in, because look at the variety of the disciplines that you're dealing with, right? Cynthia Clark, Dr. Denise Baker. We had Ali on yesterday. We had Robert Scott Bell. That voice, I want to jump on so bad. I was dealing with like 4 or 5 people. I kept hearing his voice in the Wellness Center. I'm like, man, I want to get on. But, the types of people that we have on these events is second to none. No one else is doing it. So I think sometimes we take it for granted, or our clients do. Folks, you're getting access to all the experts in the industry. I mean, we've had on Judy Mikovits, to Robert Scott Bell, to Paulina, to our crew, to, Dr. Denise Baker, and we have so many other people. Jacqueline Sheehan was on again. So we have an incredible lineup. Take advantage of these, and we're trying to do the best. Like I was just talking downstairs with some of the staff, and I was just explaining like some of the things I've been doing, right? It takes a lot of support, and, leaning on your chiropractor, such as Dr. Orbach or Dr. Phil, getting your muscle therapy from Adam, right? Talking to Ashley Razi about weight loss, gut, hormones, whatever it may be. Working with Jeff Nisnik, working with a pharmacist, right? You need all the people on your team, to get the best results for you, because everybody's different.
I had a call that I took from a lady. Well, actually, this guy calls. He goes, I have a friend. I said, would you please have your friend call? And you go, okay. So he has a friend call, and this lady, and she's only in her late 40s, and she's having immense hormone issues. Premenopause issues. She's like on the phone saying, I'm ready to go and take somebody with me. And she goes, well, I need help. And my doctor's not getting it done. I said,
2 martinis.
I said, I can't help you over the phone. I think you need to come in and see Ashley Razi and she's an expert at women's health. She made an appointment on the spot. You know what? She's coming from somewhere down in West Virginia. She's driving up. I said, you sure you want to make the trip? Sure I am. I drive all over the place. This is worth it. So, they're coming from all over, and we're fitting them into the right practitioner to help their needs.
Yeah, I love that Cynthia is focusing on, endurance training, right? Because you may not be a triathlete. However, just starting out on a workout program may require extra endurance. For me, we're talking about my program and how with success comes new challenges, right? So now my goals are new, right?
Right.
And I'll tell you what, that hot yoga yesterday was tough. I mean, you're in there for over an hour, and it's extremely hot, and it was a little more of an advanced class. So, taking the DMG really helps, right? Getting the nutrients that you need in. So I'm excited to hear Cynthia's presentation today. She's got a lot of passion for endurance and training and things. And again, you may not be a triathlete, but you still need endurance.
Yeah. Well, this was a big thing with COVID, with endurance athletes. We saw a lot of people that had COVID, then they would get back into their normal routine of exercise, these endurance athletes, cross-country runners, and all of a sudden they'd just fall over from cardiac arrest. And when I talked to Judy Mikovits about it, she was just saying that it's lack of ATP, that these people are so thin, they don't have enough reserves in their fat cells, or they're not, breaking down and recovering well enough because their body's utilizing energy to rebuild muscle tissues and structures. And, for that endurance that they're trying to perform, she said they just don't have enough ATP. And she was saying that about elderly too, which is one of the reasons that they would succumb to COVID. And additionally to, this jab that's coming up. So this is important for anybody who's an athlete that's working out, that, is utilizing your reserve energy to recover from exercise. You may just need a little bit more in a time such as this, so that you can, recover from anything else. So please tune in because Cynthia is great. So let's see who else is on the bracket today. Dr. Gideon Orbach coming back for part 2 of his chiropractic, neurology, rehab, and home workstations.
What a fantastic topic. He always is very thorough with his presentation and his treatment plan. So I've seen part 1. I'm excited for part 2, Joe. What do you think?
Part 2, I think he's going to bring in something a little new, something a little different. He always tries to mix it up a little bit. So yeah, Doc will be, this is his specialty. Neurological aspect of chiropractic is really his specialty. And he does it every single time. And he worked on me earlier in the week, and we're going to do some more, I think today or tomorrow. But, he's just so different in his approach, but so thorough at the same time. Hey, Mike. We heard a thump in the night over there.
So
paper delivery.
He ran out of the room like a dad on fire.
Well, I don't want the building to collapse.
That's right. Well, that should be good. Dr. Orbach always he has such a great following at the Weiner Wellness Center. And I think he said has been there, 14 years?
14 years.
14 years.
14 years. Wow. And 20 years in practice. His 20-year anniversary is next month.
That's awesome. So we're so great. It's so great to have him here. And then, guys, we're coming back for the roundtable. But you know what? This is going to be a great opening to your lecture on Saturday because we're going to play What's That Label? And this is a really big thing for people to understand label reading because, Joe, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion on labels, ingredients that are used in products. And honestly, I got to tell you, I didn't know the difference between quality of ingredients before I started working at Nutritional Frontiers. And as much education as we do on it, I think for the consumer, it's very important. Our doctors know, but not everybody that's watching our summit, has a practitioner or goes to one of our doctors that are educated in understanding the quality of labels. So Jamie, I know you're going to do a big lecture on this, but we're just going to warm it up with a discussion. So I'm going to pick top 10 most popular brands on the market. I'm not going to show the name, but I want you guys to come in and be the experts. Well, maybe afterwards.
I'm very passionate about this because you mentioned our doctors know. Most people do not know. Mm-hmm. People that are selling vitamins, people that are recommending vitamins, people are taking vitamins, people that are purchasing. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of misunderstandings in the industry. So there's really 3 things I want us to focus on. One is the amount of the ingredient. So if it's 100 milligrams versus 1,000, what does that mean? Second, is even more important, is the form of the ingredient, because that determines the absorbability, the bioavailability. So those are really key parts, the amount and the form. And the third part's even more important, is what else is in there we don't want. And I think there's a lot of buzzwords people hear in the industry: mag stearate, natural ingredients, dosing, right? They hear all these things, but it can be overwhelming at times. So I want to sift through all the confusion out there so people can have a strategy when they're looking at a label to really know what they're looking for, right?
Well, you had a perfect example with the iron oxide in the cancer patient right off the bat. Perfect example.
And I even had someone on our team I talked to yesterday, and they have 15 years of experience, and I was explaining about the Ferrocal. And they says, well, why don't we use it in Easy Iron? I says, we do. It's in Easy Iron, right? It's in our Women's Complete. It's in our formulation. So we're using the best ingredients. For a younger company, this is unheard of. Most of the large companies and the companies that have been around and the so-called experts don't utilize the amount of patent research trademarked ingredients we do in Nutritional Frontiers and the Weiner Wellness Center. And the reason is because, spearheaded by the late great international icon, Dr. James Weiner, we knew that there was a lot of good ingredients in the industry. We wanted to make sure we're using the best. And the last part of this is the comprehensiveness of the formulas, right?
Well, we're going to take a lot of the guesswork out of it, but for the average person out there, that's why you come here, because the guesswork has been taken taken out of it for you. You'll have quality. You have quality ingredients. You have no fillers. You have the type of ingredients that we're going to explain all throughout the store downstairs. So
yeah, when you sit down and have a conversation, I mean, at the last event, someone handed me a sheet of paper and left. They're like, "Oh, here's all the products I take. Fix it." I'm like, "Well, we need to sit down and have a conversation."
Wow.
I don't know what your goals are. I got to know how many you're taking of these. Do you take them every day? What are you trying to accomplish? What does your blood work look like? Are you getting better? Are you getting worse with your budget? There's a lot of factors involved. So it's not as simple as just saying, hey, take these instead, right?
Right.
So if you got 10, 15 minutes, stop by today, tomorrow. You can always come in after the Wellness Weeks. We'd be more than happy to look through. Paulina, during her presentation, I think you remember this, Tracy, she had this big picnic basket, right? And they take all their products that people bring in that are inferior, and they tell them to put it in the basket. It's the waste basket.
It's the basket of shame. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Shame. I couldn't remember. Yeah. Shame, right?
Shame.
So, yeah, no one wants to be shamed. However, we're doing this in the best interest of you, because I tell people the most expensive product is a cheap one that doesn't work, and not only won't give you benefits, it may add to your toxicity level.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So look, and I'm with you. We're not trying to shame anyone. I started out years ago, believe it or not, taking a Centrum multivitamin. I didn't know any better. I was in my teens. Someone told me I need a multi. I started taking Centrum.
That's all there was, really. I mean, no.
I started with some amino acids from GNC, and it was funny because after a couple of days, I told my brother, I can really feel these things working. So look, you want to do something, but you need to do what's best for you, and we're going to sift through all the overwhelming information and confusion out there. And that's another reason you don't want to just go to Amazon or Google and just buy a vitamin.
Right. Yeah, reviews don't count as quality. Or reviews where people are like, this one, they always put the good reviews up. They take the bad ones down. But I think what we're trying to say for people to understand is we're not trying to down the products that you're using. I'm not saying you're not trying to do a good job. We're just trying to tailor it so your money is not wasted, because that's how you get that, a mindset in the industry, especially with medical physicians, because we talked about the Journal of American Medical Association changing their position, saying you needed good food and a multivitamin. The issue was, like you said, they didn't choose the right one. They chose a low quality multi, and it didn't work. So yeah, it was passing through their digestive system. It wasn't getting absorbed. So then doctors turned around and said, well, multis, they're a waste of money. And they are, like you said, if it's a cheap, low quality product that's not going to get absorbed. So there's lots of things to look for. I know that you're going to break down exactly what to look for tomorrow. But today, guys, tune in at noon, because we're going to go through some labels. I think people will be surprised of the best sellers, the ones that we see most, that they're not the best ones that you should buy.
Yeah, the question always comes up is, well, why would the company do that? I have no idea. You have to ask them. Either they don't know, or they've made a conscientious decision to go with an inferior ingredient.
Based on cost.
Yes. No different than what you would see in clothes or cars or building material. I said to someone the other day, if you were remodeling your kitchen, would you go buy the warped, rotted lumber? It's cheaper. Absolutely not. You go buy the best things. So, that's why we do the Wellness Weeks. That's why we offer some really aggressive promotions and discounts, because we want you to get the best formulations at the best possible price. And that's always the ultimate goal.
Awesome. Well, we're very excited. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, Jamie and Joe, for all your wisdom and knowledge that you bestow on everybody. You certainly take the time to help people understand good supplementation. We'll be back, guys, at 9 o'clock for Mikey G. He's coming up with his lecture on DMG. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. What's that?
If you have a seatbelt handy, you better put it on, because Mikey's going to take you to a whole new level. And as he would say, class is in session, Joe.
Yes,
Get your paper and pencil.
Take notes.
Paper out. Yeah, be ready.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned, everybody, for our 9 a.m. session with Mike Gallagher as he talks about EnerGMG. Is it the miracle pill?